Hi guys, in this video we'll be looking at Get Lucky, and it sounds like this. So guys, hello and welcome. My name is Thomas, and in this Get Lucky guitar lesson we'll be looking at how to play the chords to the song in that funky style, and I'll be giving you some tips on how to expand it and kind of use it as practice material for yourselves. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please click the link below to take you to our website where you'll see write-ups for this and all other videos for free. Yes, for free. So guys, let's get started. We're in the key of F sharp minor, but unlike a lot of songs, the first chord we're playing is not F sharp minor. It is perfectly within the key, but it's actually a B minor chord. So this song is going to look at funky rhythm chops and minimizing bar chord shapes. And you'll have to excuse me because I've got a cold, which you probably hear a little bit more nasally than normal. I know, it's going to be hard to listen to me. So let's look at this very first chord, this B minor. So this shape, that is 9 of the D string, 7 of the G string, and 7 of the B string. So that is third finger and then first finger across the G and the B, like that. So this shape is coming from a B minor bar chord in an E shape. So you're taking your E minor cage shape, moving it up to the 7th fret, barring it, and you've got a B minor. Now all of your bar chords can be reduced down to different fragments of the chord to get different effects. So if you want a less chunky sound, which they do in this song, rather than using the full thing, because if I try to play this funky, it doesn't sound too bad, but in a live context with a band, it's going to get very muddy. I'm going to be impeding on a lot of people's frequencies, stepping on toes. So I want to reduce what I'm doing, still have the impact, keep the same harmony, but just less frequency. So that's what I'm doing with this. So that's the shape we're taking for the B minor, which is our first chord. Okay guys, so in terms of the rhythm here, we've got a lot of syncopation on a 16th note grid across 4 beats. So I'll play this nice and slow, and then I'll actually vocalize through what the rhythm is. What's great is that it's just one rhythm for all 4 chords of this song. So once you nail it, you can just move it across those chords. So it goes like this. If I slow that down, so it's really hard to say the beats whilst you're doing these 16th note rhythms. It'll just be too confusing. So what I'll do is actually tell you where each of these hits is within each beat. So the first one is on the off beat of 1. So actually what I'm going to do is vocalize each of these. So we've got a 16th note grid across 4 beats. So I'm going to vocalize each beat as 1 E and A. So that's how we're counting 16th notes in one quarter note. 1 E and A. So each of those will be 1 16th note. So this first hit is on the 1 and, right? So essentially the third of the 4 16th notes. This gets a little bit confusing mathematically, but if you can kind of feel it out rhythmically, it's on the off beat. So think of like 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and it's in those, right? So the second one is now on the 2 E, so the second of the 2 16th notes. So if you can feel that beat, 1 and 2, it's coming just after I'm saying 2. Then the third is actually on the third beat. 3, 1 and 2 and 3. Really hard to say, to speak that. So it goes 1 and then 2 E, and then 3. So actually what's happening is you've got, for anyone who cares, a dotted 8th note that's just being pushed closer essentially to the beat as it goes on. So then the fourth, that one, is on the 3 A. So 1 E and or sorry, 3 E and A, so the last of the 16th notes, more easily felt as just before the fourth beat. Okay, so we've got the first one halfway between beat 1 and 2, the second one just after beat 2, the third one nice and easy because it's just on the third beat, and the fourth one is just before the fourth beat. And then you've got this kind of space to do something with. I think in the full track it's just one hit, which is the and of 4. If you want to do it solely as the track. So we'll get into a little bit of that later. So slowly now, if you want to practice this with a metronome or a drum beat or something to help you kind of get that rhythm going, or at least tap your leg. That's the rhythm. You can start speeding that up as you go along, okay? So it's really simple. It's actually just a one rhythmic beat. So dotted eighth note, and that's all it is, just push through the bar. Alright, so that's the confusion bit over. Hopefully you found that okay. Move on to the next chord, which is a D major. This is nice and easy because it's just a bar across the 3rd fret of the D, G and B strings with my first finger. So it's nice and easy to get to from the B minor. And this chord is coming from a D major bar chord in an A shape. So same thing, got an A major, move that up to a bar on the 5th fret, and we've got a D major. And then reducing that down, so I've got those notes in between. And it's just the same rhythm as before. And now moving on to an F sharp minor. We're doing this little triad. So these are just 3 string voicings of our big chunky chords. So this one now is 7 on the D string with my 3rd finger, 6 on the G string with my 2nd, and that is now 7 on the B with my 4th. You can, of course, rather than doing it 3, 2, 4, you can do it 2, 1, 3 if you like. I'm sure a lot of people would prefer not using their pinky. Same rhythm again. Before moving on to the last chord, which is an E major. And this is coming from a C shape. And this is 3rd finger on the 6th of the D string, 1st finger on the 4th of the G, and 2nd finger on the 5th of the B string. So let's practice moving between those chords. We've got a B, going to a D major, going to a an F sharp minor, and then to an E. So we've actually got really nice movement. You can see we've only got a very minimal note movement between those 3 chords at the start. And you can hear the progression coming through there. So let's practice slowly running through those with the rhythm, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Okay, how'd you do? Not easy. Once you get happy and content with that, we can start adding some mute notes on our right hand and sound like this. All that does is give it a bit more energy, and all that is really 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So you're just marking out those 16th notes, muting them where you don't need them, and playing it where you do. So on my left hand, I've got the shape, and then when I want the mutes, all I'm doing is lifting the pressure off of the chord. So I'm pushing down, lifting the pressure off. To get those nice funky 16th going through that, really pushing and driving that chorus forward. Alright, so the next thing you can do with that, because it's so simple an idea, is you can further this idea of using little 3 notes or 3 string voicings of these chords to move them around the neck and get higher melody notes. So the melody notes will be the top note that you hear in these. So across the first 3, the melody note stays the same, and then it changes for that last chord. So what you can do is try swapping it around. Look at these bar chord shapes that I've taken these chords from, and maybe kind of go to the next string higher. So as an example, here's this B minor. Remember, it came from this bar chord on the E, on the 7th fret. What we could do is look at the shape where those notes are, take out the note on the D string and loop it over, so now it's on the E string. So what we've got from D, G and B strings, we take this note, move it to the high E, and now we've got G, B and E, and we've got a higher sounding voice now of the exact same chord. So if we were to do that, that is just first finger barring on the 7th fret. That's a B minor still, and you can hear cuts through a bit more because of that top note. If you wanted that same thing for a D, rather than having this, again, look at that bar chord that we have. Take the note that's on here, on the D string, put it over to the B string, sorry, the high E string, and now we've got 7, 7, 5. And the melody note changes. If we want an F sharp minor, from that 7, 7, 5, we now go 6, 7, 5. And this shape is actually a D minor shape. Coming back to haunt you, I'm sure, as it did when I was learning. And then for the E, look at the same thing, the C shape bar chord. Take the note from the D, move it all the way up to the E, and we've got bar on the 4th fret with your first, and then second finger on the 5th fret of the B string. So now, and of course, depending on who you're playing with, what instruments, how busy everyone's playing, you can kind of combine the two. So maybe if you need more sound, like a bigger sound produced from your guitar, you can use both of those shapes put together. So you've got 4 string chords now. So the next building block of that is to get a bit more creative with the rhythm. So on the track, there's probably at least 3 guitar tracks really playing the rhythm. The one that I'm showing you is the main one that cuts out, but there's a lot of other stuff in between, different versions, voices and things like that. What it really ends up doing is, if you were to play this song live, you're not just going to sit and do that one rhythm over and over again, because the song, as you play through, it needs to develop. It needs to pick up in energy in places, it needs to drop down. So if you want to pick up the energy, you can add more rhythm. Stay keeping with a 16th note thing. Just add a little 1 E and A. Just do all of those for a beat. And hear how much energy that now has compared to. That's still a great part. It really anchors everything together and it's the driving rhythm. But when you get to the last chorus, maybe you want to push it a wee bit more, start adding more rhythm. And you can add little pentatonic things in here, little fills, little licks, It's all about progressing the song in a natural way that everyone, who's listening, they just want to hear that a little bit more as it goes on over time. Okay guys, so there's another rambling done for me. I had to take out my new vintage VS6. I really am digging it. It looks great as well, kind of goes with the top. I just wanted to try it out. It's probably not the funkiest type of guitar, but I just wanted to anyway. Okay guys, that's been it for me. I hope you get lucky with the practice. I hope it's been worthwhile. I hope you've taken something from it. Let me know how it goes. If you want any more clarification, just leave a comment and I'll catch you next time.